Madam Speaker, I must rise to support a people-centered, growth-centered, and forward-thinking budget. Madam Speaker, after 17 years since tsunami, UWP, Team Dominica left us penniless with 140% debt to GDP ratio, with not even a toe to stand on, the Dominica Labour Party administration, under the leadership of the visionary Honourable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, presents almost $1 billion budget. Madam Speaker, give Jack his jacket. Honourable Prime Minister, our Honourable Prime Minister is a major. Honourable Prime Minister is brilliant.
Translate.
We have moved from
Major,
translate. A major, brilliant. I said, we have moved from having budgets under 450 million just 5 years ago to $1 billion economy. Madam Speaker, a recent Labour convert from Scotland said to me, after 17 years, he cannot fight Skerrit anymore because everything he touches turns to gold. I must seize this moment to thank the Almighty Father for this important milestone in our economic history. $1 billion economy. That is what we are talking about. And where is all that money going to? Madam Speaker, I can assure you that no money is going to personal bank accounts because of promised diplomatic appointments. This type of economic malice and of unethical behavior are characteristics that apparently plague the opposition.
No. Until you left it open, that was okay. But when you attribute it to the opposition, you are imputing improper.
I withdraw. It's said already. Withdrawn. Withdrawn. This Labour Party administration has an impeccable record both in opposition and in the prudent management of the affairs of this country. But I beg to borrow a line from Senator Baptist. Don't crucify the messenger, listen to the message. So I say we have listened loud and clear to a son of the soil who is building a 5-star resort in my constituency. So stop the crucifixion of a hard-working Dominican who is working towards building a modern Dominica. So where is all the money going? We are throwing money, to use a term used by the opposition leader, right back to ordinary Dominicans, local contractors, manufacturers, farmers, small, medium, large business owners, shopkeepers, right back into our economy. Madam Speaker, Skerrit say a major. Skerrit is a boss. Madam Speaker, I listened carefully to the opposition leader rebuttal today. I must commend him on his eloquence in delivery. I will give him his jacket. But Madam Speaker, if I were the opposition leader, after receiving that document, I would have clicked delete. Clearly, whoever prepared that document confused Dominica with the south of Sudan. A clear attempt to embarrass the honorable leader of the opposition. For that rebuttal was totally untouched with reality and the needs of the people of Dominica. Madam Speaker, it was full of recycled ramblings, falsehoods, generalizations, and mad economics. He provided no counter proposals to the 2017-2018 budget, which we are debating. But then again, what did I expect from an opposition leader who spends most of his time loitering the airwaves and Facebook instead of joining consultations on the economy? Madam Speaker, I am pleased with the 130.3 million allocated to the Public Works Ministry to continue with the rebuilding and enhancement of our infrastructure. I can tell you, the road enhancement program and outsourcing of vegetation management, which cutting grass contracts, have empowered small contractors in my constituency. Permit me to mention a success story. Madam Speaker, there is a young man in my constituency known as Peter Toussaint, who used to be a convict in and out of prison, having disorderly behavior with a gang on the block in Point Michel. There was a time, Madam Speaker, in Point Michel that people could not sleep at night of fear of being robbed. Today, this young man is now the CEO and owner of Dubout Company, employing the same young men on the block and others, and is positively influencing and inspiring other young men in other communities to stand up and work diligently. So when the opposition continuously gives the impression that we aren't concerned about the young men on the block, do like me, Honourable Member of Roseau Central, engage them. Madam Speaker, we intend to continue our community road enhancement program this fiscal year with special attention to the Gallia Road. I also want to inform my residents in Point Michel that the dredging of the ravines will commence on Monday. So I take this opportunity to thank the contractors in my constituency working hard on road projects: Byron Hunt, Heskiff Michel, Francis Birmingham, George Johnson, Macklin Abraham, Tony Bernard, Kimon George, Franklin Javier, Peter Toussaint, Lindy Andrew, and Richardson Regis. Money back into the pockets of small contractors. I want them to continue to do their best as we are moving forward towards a modern Dominica, village by village, a people-centered development. Yeah. I also want to place on record my deep gratitude to the Minister of Public Works and her team for her swift actions and support. Madam Speaker, I now move my focus to the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Youth. The aggressive plan to upgrade our people to providing 5-star quality service in every restaurant and business in Dominica is timely. When the Prime Minister spoke of the next level a few years ago, some people did not understand the vision, but I bet after that milk and honey budget yesterday, many more can feel it. I say boldly that this government is youth-focused. Currently, I have over 60 students in my constituency attending college and 25 more to start in the next semester. All tuition fully paid by the Labour Party administration. Last August, the Minister of Education assisted over 70 families in my constituency with books and uniforms so that no child will go to school and be labeled or stigmatized because of not having a new uniform or proper uniform, Madam Speaker. Every child will attend school with a brand new shirt and new shoes. The only thing I have asked my students to do is obey their parents and learn. But I must commend my students who continue to perform exceptionally at school. My young people continue to make me very proud, as they are very focused and determined to succeed. I take this opportunity to say well done to the Generations of Change, the Youth in Action Group, the LYO organizations in my constituency for our first successful youth forum themed Moving to Maturity. Madam Speaker, the interaction and level of our discussion with our Prime Minister, Cabinet colleagues, and Senator Binwa was phenomenal. I can confidently say that our young people are ready and focused on building a modern Dominica. Moving to sports, I have commenced the construction of a multi-purpose court in Point Michel, part of a master plan which existed some 40 years ago. Yet, I was blasted on the radio, although I held public meetings, by persons who sat there and did nothing to commence that project way before I was born. Nonetheless, the court is progressing nicely thanks to the contractor Roosevelt Toussaint and Teddy Roy from the Public Works Ministry. The contract of the multi-purpose court in Brooklyn, Soufriere, shall be awarded next week. However, as I speak, work has already commenced to the lighting of the playing field, a highly anticipated project by the dynamic sporting groups in my constituency. I am pleased to also announce the restoring of the St. Mark's Sports Committee will be responsible for the upkeep of the playing field and ensuring it is vibrant with sporting activities throughout the year. My constituents of Galio, the construction of a multi-purpose center and playing field is definitely on the cards. I have excellent news which I shall share at our first town hall meeting. Madam Speaker, housing continues to be a primary need in my constituency despite our major interventions inclusive of almost 1.2 million in the last fiscal year. In my discussions with the Prime Minister and the Honourable Minister of Housing, we have agreed to some plans to ensure my constituents have comfortable homes. So apart from the housing renovation assistance that I hope to successfully negotiate under this budget, I plan to pursue the development of apartment buildings in my constituency. Also, soon after the passage of this budget, we'll commence our pit latrine eradication programs. Madam Speaker, moving to agriculture and tourism. My farmers and fishermen are positioning themselves to ensure we have organic produce and 60,000 pounds of fish that will be required by the resorts in our constituency. I have been working with the Soufriere, Galio, Scotset Farmers Fishing Association in order to identify land for organic farming in Soufriere. Recently, I assisted a farmers group in Galio who have already commenced their project. We are also working on the design for the fisher folk locker rooms and vendor stalls on the Soufriere Boulevard, which I intend to get complete in this budget year. Many fishermen in the constituency have received assistance in purchasing boats and outdoor motors. However, I am proud to announce that within 2 weeks, 6 young fishermen will be given 6 boats, which were built by 2 constituents in my constituency. 6 new boats will be given. Another project I intend to advance this year is the designing of a fisheries complex in Point Michel. So, Madam Speaker, our people-centered approach to growing our economy will uplift the lives of our citizens once they are ready to work hard and be productive. My dream to transform the Soufriere constituency into a tourism mecca remains very dear to my heart. Consequently, one of my best friends under this fiscal year will be Honourable Tong, as I seek to enhance many sites such as the Sulphur Springs, Scottshead Beach area, Bubble Beach Spa, Champagne Beach, and water sports in my constituency. One project I expect to commence in a couple months is the upgrade of Champagne Beach to include a new jetty and general improvements to the site. I am also working on the upgrade of the Soufriere Sulphur Springs to ensure it becomes a major tourism attraction, and pursuing the development of the Scottshead Beach area inclusive of renovation of the Caravantic. So some projects may take longer than others to be realized, but the goal to modernize and standardize our attractions in the constituency shall commence brick by brick. Madam Speaker, the Community-Based Small Business Assistance Program has created endless opportunities for many constituents to expand, upgrade, or start a small business. I must thank the Honourable Minister of Finance for the allocation of 500 million, which benefited over 120 entrepreneurs, and the Ministry of Commerce for effectively training 75 small business owners. Some people have criticized this initiative, but I can tell you, I received pictures, products, and calls from many constituents who now have a source of income or have upgraded or expanded their business. Madam Speaker, I have brought a bag, very beautiful bag, made by a constituent in Scottshead, Madam Speaker, who plans to train and open a small boutique in the constituency, Madam Speaker, small business. I also brought with me a cream produced by Sparkle Creations, another constituent in my constituency, who was able to expand the business because of the small business brand. So I'm bringing the proof, Madam Speaker, in case there are any doubts. Madam Speaker, I have a constituent who drove a bus for another man for 15 years, and because of a small business grant, is now able to own his own bus. So these people-centered and growth-centered government programs continue to empower our citizens to enjoy a better standard of living and take care of their families. So under this financial year, I expect to successfully negotiate more funds for small business development in my constituency. Madam Speaker, our beautiful country, governed by the Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit Labor Administration, is transforming our economy, sector by sector, village by village, to ensure all Dominicans will be proud of a modern, prosperous Dominica. By increasing the tax threshold to 30K, it means our people have more disposable income, more money to spend. I want to encourage us, however, to be nationalistic in our spending. Buy and eat local. I have taken a decision to eat what we grow here in Dominica, and recently to only use soaps produced by Heaven Sense and Colport. Yes, it's a little more expensive, but of high quality, very soothing and kind to the skin. If we want all of us to prosper, we must support our local manufacturers and cottage industries. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to commend the wise initiative of the Prime Minister by setting up the NFPP, who will advise us on our policies and strategies to boost our economy. overhaul our education system, and reduce and overhaul our tax system. I have no doubt that the caliber of persons on this council will provide sound fiscal advice that will propel us to a modern, prosperous Dominica. Madam Speaker, I can speak for hours on this forward-thinking budget, but I will end with another success story under the NEP. Madam Speaker, I was called to a meeting by some young men on the block in Scott's Head who said to me that they want small business assistance or to be gainfully employed. I asked them, would you be interested in managing the Scott's Head beach and keeping it clean? Madam Speaker, they agreed and formed a group, appointed a leader. Today, Madam Speaker, these young men are doing a fantastic job in keeping the beach clean, to the point where they have brought forth ideas to upgrade the area before the next tourism season. I also want to thank the supervisors under the NEB program, Francis Birmingham, CA, Erica Jules, Conrad Caesar, Antonia Simon, Sonia Charles, and Leroy Filbert for supervising and coordinating tasks under the NEP. But sometimes it's not an easy job. I want to encourage all my constituents under the NEP to take their work seriously, be respectful, and do their best always. Finally, a modern Dominica will require all of us to play our role in building our country. We are walking in our milk and honey days. We have all the signs of a blessed country. Whereas some of our regional counterparts, sadly, are grappling with many challenges, the Lord has opened our doors to growth opportunities. I urge our people not to fall by the wayside because of partisan politics and short-sightedness. We can only realize this bold vision. Timing is everything, so I urge all of us to catch it now. Let us build a country that we are proud of today and for generations to come. I ask the good Lord to continue to protect my fellow ministers who do an outstanding job in managing their portfolios, despite the personal attacks on them, their children, and their families. Madam Speaker, all parliamentarians should condemn this violence. There is no way that we should encourage even our supporters to speak ill about people's children. To this end, I want to thank, I also at this time wish to let the people and government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela know that our prayers are with them, and we shall never forget the genuine hands which they extended to us during our economic peril. To this end, I want to thank my predecessors, Mr. Ian Pinard, Sam Martin, and my constituency management team for their hard work in the vineyard and their support over my first year of representing the beautiful people in the Soufriere constituency. I thank all my constituents for their love, prayers, and support, especially Teacher Bellot, who I know is looking on television, and my ladies on the bus stop, Fanny and her crew. One love. Thank you, Madam Speaker.